Okay, so when I first did these, my first ones I did by myself, what I did is I had bought my first set in a mall. Some French people, oh, yes, look on out. Oh man, they put those things in. And of course, you know, the Cinderella theme and all kinds of little birds twittering. It was wonderful. And it's just fun to wear. I don't think that guys really give a hoot about it. I don't know. I mean, they do and they don't. It's all an illusion. But when it comes down to it, man, they want to stick their hands in there and stuff like that, you know. And of course, there goes the illusion right away. You know, this is a visual thing, baby, not no handsies. Anyway, so I made my first ones just using the weft as it came in. But what I did was I cut it to match the original ones that I had. So I just kind of cut it and matched that. And theirs were doubled up. But I just left mine thin. And there's some pros and cons to that. You can do it thin and then have thin layers in, and you don't get like this kind of, you know, problem where I just need to make more though. I didn't have enough, so I need to make uh, two more bigger pieces and you know, side pieces here and four little 1.5 inch pieces. So what I did was I went online and I started looking on eBay and stuff to buy hair, and I noticed this one called my catwalk hair. Man, it's a really good advertisement. It's one of those things you just want to rush out and buy. They did a good job of that and everything, but I do read reviews and whatnot, and I did even see some YouTube reviews, but you know, you got to take into consideration the person that's given the review and the shape and condition of their hair and the things like that. And then, you know, and plus this is what I was doing because I was trying to decide, did I want to do the clips? Because it, man, when you're doing it on a daily thing and you're trying to pull off this big, huge illusion, wow, it's a considerable amount of work. And clipping them in, you know, can be a pain in the ass when you just really want to run out the door. Now you got all this work to do. In the beginning, when you first get these things, it's not that much work. It is easy peasy. Clip, clip, clip. It looks great. When you start getting this ratty kind of stuff going on here, you got to start working this stuff a little more. You know, you got to take a little more time to get it in there. And I mean, you can still do it, and you can still use these things. You can pull a lot of life out of these satin strands. I mean, at least I have. And I cannot say that I've taken excellent care of these things. I'm thinking that I took okay care of these things, and I'm hoping to do far better with these. Now, the other thing I've realized that if you're going to pull this off wearing these all the time, you need more than one set, for heaven's sakes. That's what I'm discovering for myself. The one set is a pain in the ass. You do need to, I cuss, by the way. Please forgive me. Now that we've got past that. You know, you got to wash them. You got to put them overnight. You got a lot of work to do with them. This set, I would really like to not be putting the heat to it. And frankly, I would like to not be putting the heat to my own hair. And so I'm trying to discover new ways. So this comes to another thing that you're going to need, and that is an oil of some sort. Now this again, it's just, look at, it's both BC, because why? Because that's what they were selling at the salon I went to, and the lady did my hair, and I got a gift certificate and yada yada. But the oil, the hair oil, that shining thing, I mean, it does a lot now. And I mean, and when you get your hair done, you notice what they do, and I've noticed it anyway because now I'm interested. They always do a little bit of this, and then they always do this number, right? And this is what you want to do at the end of your hairline, you know, and also at the end of these. So whatever you're doing to take care of your beautiful satin strands, or really whatever extensions that you're deciding, you really need, and I'm learning, we have to learn new habits and taking care of hair and everything. And I mean, when you get this long 22 inches and 26 inches, and you can't complain about the amount of brushing that it needs. It just needs it. The only thing you can really do truly is to braid it up or put it in a ponytail and whatnot. Also, like I've got, well, you can see how my hairline's going, I've got fairly kind of shoulder lengthy. A lady kind of took a little more off than I would hope, and she kind of, whatever. But anyway, it blends in, but it blends in better with the shorter size if you've got fairly long hair and everything. This is a lot more manageable, way more manageable, and everybody loves me. So the oil is a good thing too, and I use it, when I'm layering the hair, as I'm putting in each layer, then I put in, and I get that oil in there and to smooth it. Now I'm using two brushes. I'm using this on the layers in uh, when the extensions are in. I have my other brush that I'm using on my normal hair that works better. So up in here, like when I'm working the hair and whatnot, I'm using my other brush. And then you can kind of see where she layered it. So I've got these really short layers here. But look at that, I mean, you get that oil in there, and then you put this brush in there. And if I had the extra strands here and whatnot, it would look really, really good. And break it up. Now you can also do some fun stuff. You can get kind of highlight and low lights, and you can get two different kinds, and then because you're going to use the little panels and stuff, these little things that just comes in the long strip, then you could put like a darker one underneath, a lighter one, highlight your hair that way, or one row of darker, one row of lighter. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with it and make them the way you want. Now, these are old, and I don't know. I think they might get retired, and it does get to be a lot of work. But I have found that when you double it up, when I double these like this and then sew them together, that they are happier when they're thicker. They're happier with two better than one. They hang better, they hide better, but also when I've got these two like this bundled up as I'm making it, they are happier hair. You don't get the flyaway as much. You don't get the knotting as much. And once this hair starts knotting up, it becomes a disaster. And another thing, another thing I have learned is that alcohol and hair extensions in your hair and a jacuzzi, that is the recipe for disaster. That is a complete and utter disaster. You want to talk about a rat's nest. Oh my God, even your hair doesn't get that ratty, but this will become a ratty. Oh, and it is, there's just no redeeming it. Not nothing. Now maybe with this brush, you can do something about it, but with a regular brush, you are screwed. And they're wet, and they're a mess. And what are you going to do? You're going to be tearing them apart and everything. So now these have gotten fairly abused from that, but those are the things I've learned. So now when I made this set with the longer hair, I doubled those babies up and sewed them together. And what I did was I just went online and I read about some of the different things that are out there, because they keep improving these things like everything else. And I took measurements off of some of them, and then I measured out this hair in that way. So I did one that was like I did two 5.5-inch long ones doubled up, so that's 11 inches just for the one, right? So I did two of those. I did one that was like 4 inches, and then some 3-inch ones, and then you're supposed to do 4-inch ones. And when you're doing it thick like that, this isn't quite enough. You might need 2. I have really, really thick hair, so I need a lot. The other thing is this hair gets heavy. It took me a while to get used to going from my hair to wearing this hair at 18 inches. And then the other day when I went from 18 inches to 24 inches, it is a lot heavier, and I did get a bit of a headache. And so, that's something to keep in mind too, that, you are putting more weight on your hair, but you really, really do need to learn to take care of it. So you're getting yourself good shampoos, good conditioners, good leave-in conditioners, spray the ends, very good, and oils and whatnot. And you keep these things oiled. And then you learn to shampoo it, and that'll be my the next thing that I'll discuss.